Thank you so much, guys, for coming. We're very honored having such talented students as you today.
Thank you for your invitation.
So today you will be able not only to ask questions, but also to be engaged in argumentation game and rebut by yourself. Okay, let's get started. My first question will be, can you please tell us about yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Yerlen Zhalgassov, and I am the third-year student here at the Lazarski University. And as Muna mentioned before, we are the winners of the Lazarski Debate Club and Viktor.
Yeah, hi everybody, my name is Viktor. I'm a second-year student of Lazarski University in Business Economics, and together with the Yerlen, we had won the Lazarski Championship in debates.
Great. Can you please briefly explain us what is debates in general, just to have a general perception for our viewers?
Yeah, if we talk about debates, in these debates we used a British parliamentary model, which basically you need to have 4 participants, 2 for opposition, 2 for proposition side. In both teams, one person plays as the leader, or prime minister, or leader of opposition, and also they have deputy. The game goes that firstly prime minister puts the motion of a game, and then opposition agrees or disagrees with that games. And deputies also continue the point which was presented by leader of opposition or prime minister. And in the end, the company that presented most better arguments are winning.
Okay, just imagine that I am, for instance, for feminism, but the topic is that I have to be against it. Is that how you choose? Is it your choice?
No, it's not the choice of sides who participate in the tournament, but that's basically a draw. So you don't know which side you're going to be you're going to be supporting or opposing. So that's the beauty of the game, you know. So
yes, actually. Okay, tell us about the creation of the story behind the creation of your team.
Yeah, there was a really beautiful story, I would say. I didn't have a partner to participate in this wonderful competition, and then I believe in destiny, you know, and that was the destiny which brought Viktor, I would say, and that's how we met, I think.
Yeah, it's like really destiny and the help of Lazarski Debate Club
that
put us together in this wonderful team.
Exactly.
Okay, do you have a certain strategy of maybe how did you manage to create a certain strategy of how to get prepared, how to win, maybe during the game and before the game?
It's a good question. Like, I could say that one of the main strategies that we search the net for some most big, I could say not bullet, but cannon points, which could destroy our opponents or create an entire hole in their argumentation, their protection, so we could succeed.
Yeah, we considered it to be as a chess match, you know. We were trying to predict everything our opponents are going to say, and that's how we were trying to build our cases. So we'll try to predict what they will say, and we were already trying to rebut their arguments before the game, and I think that was key to success.
How did you find the teamwork in general?
Yeah, that was great. I mean, I am not a teamwork guy, to be honest, but at least that was what I thought before meeting Viktor. And right after creating such a great team, I started realizing how teamwork is really important in life, not only in the Lazarski Debate Cup, but in the whole life generally.
I support the Yerlen because it was unforgettable experience for me, and as an introvert, for me it was like a good possibility to meet some interesting people, find new friends, or people who think the same as me.
Except your team, there was like 9 more.
Hmm?
And how do you assess other teams? I know that you as the strongest one. Who do you think was the strongest one? Except you, please. We know that you are. But which team do you think was the strongest one? It was challenging for you to win them.
I think that possibly it was semi-finals Doxa team, because I could say that their topic was extremely hard, victim blaming, and they are like proposition size. They should say that victim blaming is okay, and I was quite surprised with their argumentation. It was quite good.
Yeah, let me just add that all teams were brilliant. And the point is that we were not trying to concentrate on the teams that we were playing against in our preparation. We were focusing on ourselves in the preparation, so it doesn't matter who we played against. It is our team that we were trying to improve, and that's why I just want to thank every team for participation, and I would like to say that it was our honor to play against every team that we faced.
Such a diplomatic answer. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to your arguments during the pre-selection rounds. Okay, during the first round, in the pre-selection day, you were for legalizing euthanasia. And you have mentioned that what is the meaning of existence if you only hurt your loved ones? Don't you think that by killing yourself, it will hurt your family even more than being alive and even maybe being a burden?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know why you're studying international relations, because you would be a great journalist, to be honest, because you are just taking it out of context, I would say, because that was not the main argument that we have. That was just one of, let's say, many arguments that we had during that debate. And the main argument that we had was that each person should control his or her body, which allows him or her to decide whether to use euthanasia or not. And I think that's something we should be focusing on.
Don't you think that, for instance, some sort of disabled person, he's not in his mind, and maybe he can make a bad decision which he might regret of? He would not do if he would not be disabled.
Yeah, basically such problem exists, but basically it's considered as part of eugenics, and it's considerably absurd by state to prevent such states. And in this argument, it's more a conception of honor. What is sense to live a life with dishonor and only hurt everybody around you? There are like a lot of toxic people who consider the same as a source of sufferings for their people. And as example, I gave a life of Japanese author Osamu Dazai. Like, for entire life he suffered a dishonor, he was left by his family, he was left without family name, without even his money for existence. And in the end he was decided to stop this suffering of his personally and his family.
Yeah, to be or not to be, that is the question.
I'm more than satisfied with your answer. Thank you. Okay, in the second round, the topic was about feminism, whether this feminism is relevant or irrelevant in the 21st century. You were defending, but do you personally think that feminism is irrelevant in 21st century because we have achieved this gender equality, like we have the access, women has the access to education, I don't know, job places, anything? Or do you think that there is still a place for improvement?
Yeah, in our arguments we use the points that basically the law is not always working, that there is some countries in which it is not implemented in life while it is in constitution, and more we say that the Western countries shouldn't ignore such problem and need to do something. And also there is still problem of gender inequality, for example in work wages in Europe and United States, and for example in Japan, which is also developed country, there was like unusual scandal because the father decided to take a vacation and look after child. It was like shocking how this is considered as work that should be done by women, not men.
Yeah, feminism is definitely relevant, but the problem is that there are some women in the world who use feminism in the situations when it is irrelevant. Feminism is about women having the same equal rights as men. But the problem is that there are some representatives of the opposite gender who try to use feminism as something in order to have more rights than men do. And that is the problem. But feminism is definitely relevant in terms of the fact that women should have the same rights as men do.
There's the concept of positive discrimination. It's like men were
Yeah.
discriminating us women in the past, and now it's like our turn.
Exactly.
Maybe some of the women use
You're
this.
getting revenge, yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's quite interesting.
Okay, during the final round, which was very hot debates, you did really great job. Your strongest argument was about double standards. The topic was about the testing on animals. So you were for testing on animals. Your argument was about double standards. Like you are eating animals, but you don't want to test on them. What is the point? That creates double standards. Yes, I would agree. But my question is, don't you think that there's a differences between killing them in a moment and eating and torturing them, putting all this medical stuff on their eyes and not letting them to blink even?
Yeah, I will repeat one more time again. You'd be such a great journalist. That's a fact. And thank you very much for such a wonderful question. But the thing, here's the deal. The thing is that killing animals and torturing them, like testing animals, is not necessarily torturing them. That's the first thing. And the problem is that you put torturing animals and animal testing like at the same level. Because animal testing is not about torturing; it's about using animals in order just to have some kind of experiments. Just like you bring your pet to the vet, for example, like the same kind of situation. And we shouldn't say that bringing your pet to the vet is the same situation as killing the animal just to have food on the table. Like that's a bit of a different thing.
To support Yerlen point, I could say that, for example, first in Amazonia, we could see that there is a major destruction of the forest, for the fields, for cows, for beef production, for milk production, like generally for connected with food. And it's also connected with extermination of some rainforest species. Plus, in some countries, it is legal to use chemicals in order to stimulate growth of chicken, of some other species of animals, and I could say that unluckily they also suffer. And whenever it's like a total problem, because our actions of humans sometimes really bring sufferings to animals, not only testing.
I would agree. And what is your personal take on this issue? Are you for or against?
Absolutely neutral.
Unluckily, we don't have other alternatives.
Yeah, it's like
here I would disagree with
no.
you.
The problem is that if we didn't have a debate, I wouldn't be even thinking about it, because there are lots of problems in this world that should be solved in the first place. And like animal testing is not something that I think about every day. Like it's not something that makes me stare at the ceiling and think about animal testing, like, well, how we solve this problem, why are animals suffering. Like I don't know, absolutely neutral. I don't have any position on that in real life. But if you will give me a command to support it or to oppose it, of course I will be supporting it or opposing it depending on the side that I have. But in the real life, absolutely neutral.
You don't have even some sort of compassion toward them, feeling sorry that they are being tortured.
They are not being tortured.
They are being tortured. In order to have such medical stuff.
No, I mean
there
are also some people being tortured at the hospitals, and the same thing. There are always exceptions.
If we talk about testing, there is such thing as capital punishment. In many states of the United States, they use chemicals, and currently there is one trial which is quite interesting, because once in constitutional court it was said that it is quite painful, it causes people suffering while they die, so we shouldn't use capital punishment with chemicals.
Brilliant answers. Thank you so much. I will stop torturing you.
It was an interesting discussion.
Okay. Fine. Debating is, I guess, I assume that it's not only about having such serious, sensitive topics and discussing them, but it's also about having fun. I mean,
Yeah.
you should have some funny stories. Can you present us?
Yeah, it was quite an unusual story. In my mid-final, I was asked why you closed the door of your house, and I answered, I'm afraid that my dog will run away. Yeah, to prevent my dog from running away.
And what was the topic? And what that?
Victim blaming, and basically it was like, how I understand our opponents wanted to say that because I don't feel safe.
Yeah, they were trying to provoke him and put him into the trap that they created, but Viktor did a great job and answered the question brilliantly, and that was quite a fun. The judge was laughing, everybody was laughing, like photographers were laughing, everybody was laughing out there. And the problem with having fun is that we were trying to get every game seriously, and that's the reason why we didn't have any time to have fun and to laugh, I don't know, to have some funny stories, because we were trying to prepare for every game seriously, and that's the reason why. It doesn't mean that we are boring, like, I hope we are not, hopefully, but it's just that we took the tournament seriously, and perhaps that is the reason.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, there's some questions on the chat I see, which are relevant to our direction.
Yeah.
Okay, on which topic you wanted to argue personally?
Like
It's
in the
provocative.
future, like in the future games?
Yes.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter really. There are lots of interesting topics, and I mean, that's what the whole professionalism is all about. Because like, doesn't matter what kind of topic it is, whether you like it or not. You just got to be debating it, and that's the whole beauty of the game. I will repeat it one more time again. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I could say that there is a lot of interesting and provocative topic, but the question is other. It's like to find the topic which will be provocative, and for which opposition or proposition side won't be cancelled.
Yeah, there are lots of different. For example, Facebook banned Trump, for example, right? And that would be a very interesting thing to talk about, whether Facebook did a good job or not. Because on one hand, they are trying to prevent in the future to prevent these kind of events that happened in the beginning of January when the people were storming the U.S. Capitol. On the other hand, that goes against the freedom of speech that the United States stands for. And that would be a great conversation to have, I would say, for example.
Yeah, I could say that in Ukraine currently we are also having similar discussion, because the question, when some channels present a point of view which is helps your enemy, if you ban this channel, is this a violation of freedom of speech or not?
Yeah.
Okay, we will take it into consideration for our future debates. Thank you. The next question is, did your expectations match to the reality of the debate tournament?
Yes, it did. We thought that this is going to be a great tournament, and it really was. Do you agree with me, Viktor?
Yeah, and I could say that my expectation, it were even... I was so surprised, it overpaced my expectation 100 times, I think.
Okay, thank you. And how do you manage to do all things? Study good, write diploma, I assume it refers to you, and win the debate tournament?
How do you manage it?
Okay, I would say that this is time management, but basically I'm a little bit lazy person. So I could say that sometimes really you need to make good emphasis and a little bit of time management, like to choose the moment when you need to start doing your projects, doing your diploma, or preparing for a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like we're managing to do everything correctly and in a good way, but in fact, we're just ordinary human beings who struggle with time. Like in the past, I thought that 24 hours per day is like a long period of time, but right now, the older I get, the more I understand that 24 hours per day is nothing at all. And during the preparation for the debates, I realized it one more time again that time management is really important.
Yeah, I would agree with you, definitely.
Of course you would.
I have no other options. Okay, what was the most challenging thing during the debate tournament? Maybe the preparation before or in the process?
Yeah, the most challenging thing was the time management that we discussed in the previous question, because as the person who asked this question correctly mentioned, like I have thesis, I have like other exams to prepare for, and like all the other stuff, and I think time management was a really difficult thing to handle.
Yeah, like I support this point because between like extermination period and semifinals, it was like only one day, and we had only a little time to prepare, and the time management was quite the most important issue, to find a little bit of time to prepare.
Exactly.
Fine. As we have mentioned, on debates, you should be on a side that you are not might be for.
Mhm.
How do you persuade people, audience, on the things that you don't believe in?
It's a good question. Basically, sometimes you need to find some personal background of this person and hit its weak points, but basically during these debates we had seen two major strategies. First is fact-based position, and secondly based on emotions. And basically, usually, if you could use these both strategies, you could succeed.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't recommend to use it in real life.
Yeah, I mean that's why being open-minded is really important during the debates. For example, you have a topic, and just gotta understand that even if you think about this topic in one way, you gotta understand the fact that there is also a different position that other people might have about the same question, and doesn't matter which side you're on, you gotta understand it and try to use as many facts as possible in order to persuade other people to believe.
There is great answer. I see you were studying psychology before debating, actually. Okay, fine. How there is not always judges are satisfied with your answers. I mean, despite the fact that you have won, I would say everything in the pre-selection round, a semi-final, final, everywhere you have first places. But still, how do you handle the criticism from the judges?
Yeah, criticism is a great thing. And I think criticism is something that drives progress. And the criticism from the judges that we received was driving the progress of our games, I would say, right? Of our performance. And we are really thankful for every person for criticizing us, for giving such great, I don't know, thoughts for after the game and suggestions on how to improve our performance. And I think that was something great. And I wish we had more criticism, but I'm looking forward to hear any of the criticism in the future. Like, if you have any, just give me a call. Like, I'll be ready to listen to it.
Yeah, as I've seen that fact-based criticism is quite important because it helps you to improve some moments of speech, presentation of your team, the usage of bullet points, or for example, how you need to behave during debates, during point of interests. It actually helps you to become better you in debates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Debates are quite convenient game to play with.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna have a game, so our audience will be able also to participate in it. I'm given a topic, and our audience is choosing, for instance, whether Yerlen will be for this issue or against, and Viktor, yes, according to that point also.
Okay.
And then you will have to give each other one arguments and rebuttal each other's. Yeah, one argument, one
Okay.
rebuttal.
Okay.
I know
It's
that you are a
like
team,
We're one team, and you are
But-
trying to divide us. You know.
but still, yes.
It's Civil War, man.
It's not a war, come on.
Okay, great.
Please,
So our topic is: this house regrets the concept that money can solve all the problems.
Oh.
So one side will be for this issue, the other is against. Whether you're for whether you do regret the concept that money can solve all the problems, or you're against this issue. Okay, let's see, Yerlen. Will you be for or against this issue?
Okay, interesting.
Good luck.
Really interesting what people are going to write down.
Okay, I see Yerlen for. Yerlen
Oh.
will be for, and you will be against.
They're going to be for...
Okay.
You will be for, you will be regretting the concept that money can solve all the problems.
Okay.
But I would say it in advance that you are not saying that money is bad and all the stuff. We're just regretting of the concept that money can solve all the problems.
Are we look as a group of anarchists?
Maybe. Okay. We're not giving you time for preparation. We're sorry for that.
Yeah, so
But-
it means that I regret that
concept.
money can solve all problems.
Yes, you regret the concept that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely I regret it because money is just a piece of paper that people use in order to buy some stuff and whatever. But there are also people who don't have the money that other people have, which creates inequality in society, which makes people lives of people who have money really convenient and comfortable, so they can do something. For example, you said all problems, right? So killing person is definitely a problem, which means that one person can kill another person and get away with it. It's not a good thing. We want to live in a society with equal rights, with equal opportunities. Everything should be equal. And this concept that you just mentioned absolutely destroys the fact that we live in an equal society. And for example, if one person killed another person and get away with it, like, well, I don't want to live in that kind of society. And by supporting and by not regretting it, and by supporting this concept, Viktor is basically saying that people can do bad things to other people and simply get away with it. That is a totally like, you know, it's absolutely terrible thing that we should definitely fight against, I would say.
Rebuttal.
Yeah, as an opposition, I totally disagree with the main point. If person is get acquitted for his crimes, this is not a problem of connected with money. It's connected with the lawyer who protects this person. This his guilt and his personal moral dilemma. Secondly, thankfully to money, we could travel, we could visit other countries, we could learn in such wonderful university as Lazarski.
Yeah, Lazarski, the best university in the Makarov district.
In entire Poland.
Yeah, the Makarov district.
Yeah, what is more, thankfully to money, there is a lot of such foundation. For example, Melinda and Bill Gates foundations that helps to improve our medicine, improve being of people in some developing regions, as for example, Latin America, Africa, some poor countries of Asia, or some lands that are being turned down by conflicts. Money is not bad. By their nature, they give us opportunities. Yes, sometimes these opportunities can be terrible, but people are free to choose. We have freedom of will, and unluckily we cannot control everyone. We are not an authoritarian state. We are living in democracy.
Yeah, and I was not opposing the fact that money is a good thing. The topic was that I am against the concept that money can solve problems. And traveling is not a problem. Like, there is a Jewish saying which says that all problems that can be solved with money are not problems. They are just expenses and costs. So traveling is a cost, and like all the other stuff that you just mentioned, those are not problems if you can solve it by paying money. But, however, this kind of concept creates a different situation when people can solve their problems using money, as the situation that I've mentioned before, getting away with a murder, for example, by giving some bribes to officials, right? That's not a good thing, definitely.
Your point is quite interesting, and I could say that money gives... The concept that money could save you from everything is not right. For example, it can be solved by changes in legislation, in improvement. Yes, sometimes people get away from murders, from some terrible crimes, But also, as it said, crimes goes with punishment. Be like moral or physical, it depends.
Okay, imagine a situation. For instance, there's a family and there's a child that is really suffering from a disease.
Mhm.
They need money. This case shows you, presents you, and the family does not have. The case presents you that money can solve all the problems. Don't
So
you think
what?
so?
So all problems. This is one of the problems of all problems. Also, getting away with the murder by giving a bribe, that is a problem as well, and all problems include this situation as well. So it depends on from what side. From what side you're looking at the situation, at the topic itself. That's the reason. That's great. Of course, that's great. But there are lots of situations. It's great that money can solve the problem of poor child being healed. But however, on the other side, there's also a situation when people use big amounts of money that they have in order to get away from bad things that they did. So I oppose the concept that money can solve all problems, but I support the concept which says that money can solve problems such as child being healed, right? Such as, I don't know, people or other like people I know in the African countries getting a good treatment, medical treatment, for example. I support that, but I do not support the concept that money can solve all problems. So the word all is the problem. All problems. Money should not solve all problems.
Okay, but still, I would sort of support Viktor's side.
You have such right.
Yeah. Why we do not? There is a thing that if we will not be regretting about this concept, this gives motivation to people. Like, if I will know that money can solve all the problems, it will give for me a motivation to go to study, to go get a degree, get a job, and further to do something in a life.
Oh, look. So I have two opponents against me alone. That's a great thing, which makes
You
it
are the
much more
best debate.
interesting.
You are the best speaker.
Yeah, look. You are the one who created topic, and in a topic is written all problems. So
Yes.
you are the one who's saying that money should solve all problems, and killing person and getting away with it, all problems. It includes this situation, which means that. So you do not support like killing person and getting away with it, right? Do you support it? Just yes or no question.
No, definitely we do not support
Yeah,
it
of
because
course
we
you're not,
live
but-
in democratic state and there is punishment that being appropriate punishment if you did kill someone. There is less
Yeah.
corruption in such
Yeah,
developed spheres.
we live in democratic state, but there are lots of people who do not. And why are you being selfish by saying we live in a democratic state? That's good. People will not get away from the murder. But there are lots of people in Central Asian countries. There are lots of people in African countries. There are lots of people in lots of countries in the whole world who face this kind of problems, who do not live in democratic societies. And for those people, this is a real big issue, you know? So I just don't want you guys to be selfish and to think about only yourself, because there are like 7 billion people exist in the world, and I think that we should think about them as well. Just think about it.
And what you would do with the concept of motivation, that it gives motivation for a person to start working, to build a capitalist world where all the innovations are being brought more and more, and it drives people. The motivation.
I have nothing against money. I support money. But
Yes,
I am against
I
the
would-
concept that money can solve all problems.
Don't you think that this concept that money can solve all the problems, it creates a place for motivation for people? That if I will earn more money, I will be able to go and to solve all my
Yeah,
problems.
I would say this way. If the concept would say money solve lots of problems, I support it. But I do not support the concept which is all problems. So people should understand that money solves like lots of problems, and that gives them motivation already. Despite the fact, but the topic that we have by like solving all problems, that concept is not good. So people already understand that, like as you mentioned before, like traveling, like lots of other stuff, right? people are already motivated. So if the concept would be like money solves lots of problems, that's the thing. I support money myself. I do not support the concept that money solves all the problems. It solves lots of problems, but not all problems.
I totally disagree, and my answer is international cooperation. For example, United Nations. The entire budget of this organization is based on donations from every membership state. Those are monies that were given by every state in order to make a brighter, better future. Yes, there is some problem with dictators, but we don't ignore this problem. We do something. We impose sanctions, we impose some peacekeepers missions around the world. Yes, sometimes maybe international coalitions invade such countries as Afghanistan, Iraq, but we don't stay in our beautiful place of the world in democratic West and just stay and wait, thinking this is not our problem. We use money to solve this problem. Our states use this money. So I could say that money could solve all problems despite its scale. For example, space. Such organizations as NASA are being founded by ordinary citizens from the budget. And every year we could see such wonderful things. For example, 52 years ago, an Apollo 11 mission landed on the moon. This is a historic point of humanity. We started to explore space. And I could say that money could give us this feeling of solidarity and cooperation around the world. Yes, they sometimes could solve some bad problems, but generally I could say that they help us to solve such enormous and sometimes impossible tasks that there are positive. It is more positive for humanity than negative.
I see you didn't need the help, but
Oh,
I
look,
would
look.
oppose your side now.
Here's the deal. Personally, I grew up by listening to the Beatles. And there's a great song of Beatles, which is, "Can't buy me love, money can't buy me love," right? So, money cannot solve all problems. And, for example, if you're struggling to find a partner for the rest of your life, that might be a problem which money will not be able to solve. And I think that is something that we should bear in mind too. And we're not talking about generally about geopolitics, if you will. We're talking about the concept itself. And I think that everything that Viktor said is not connected with the topic itself. It's beautiful. I support money, but I do not support the concept, and I just want you to understand it. And I wish everyone who's watching this wonderful live stream video to find a partner for the rest of their lives. And I'm sure that money will not help you guys. But anyway, I hope and I believe in each and one of you to find this wonderful partner in order to have a great life. Thank you very much.
I see this is getting hotter. I don't want to put you in an argument both together because you might be a team for the future. So let's stop here. We're also running out.
You don't
of
want
time.
divorce, right?
I was having such a wonderful argument.
Okay, present it, but briefly.
Okay, it's a song from Rolling Stones. Don't you want some money for love?
No,
Baby,
I do
don't you
not.
want some money for love? It's perfect.
Yeah.
Karaoke show today
Yeah.
also is present.
Carpool karaoke. James Corden.
Okay, guys, let's move on from the game. Thank you all so much for participating. It was that presents actually how talented you are because you come up just in a moment with such brilliant arguments and rebuttals. What do you think are your strong and weak points in debates?
What do you think, Viktor?
I'm thinking that firstly, I'm a little bit shy. The strong point, I have quite good memory, so I remember a lot of things.
Yeah.
And also about weak, I think maybe I don't know. I don't have such fear of stage or something like that. But basically, I think that's all my negative sides.
Yeah, I think like our team is really emotional. That might be advantage, but like lots of times it turned out to be disadvantage. Like because like psychologically we're not stable, and we gotta deal with it. I think that is the weakness that we have. But talking about the strong sides of our team is that Viktor is a tremendously intelligent and really smart person. I heard that there are lots of friends of Viktor who call him Wikipedia because he knows lots of things. Like, he knows everything. Ask Viktor about one topic, he'll give you, like, I don't know, a bunch of stuff that I guarantee you didn't know. Like, very smart guy. I think that's the really strong, that's the strength that we have in our team. And yeah, I think that we got to be using it in the future.
I would like to say that I'm quite thankful to my friends for the face that they put in me. Yes.
I
thought you would like to thank me for that.
Yes, he was actually promoting you.
Yeah, I was expecting to hear something back. You're like, I would like to thank my friends for giving me such a great name.
Sorry, I haven't met your friends.
No, that's
but
okay,
yeah,
that's
you're
okay.
also
Yeah. No,
wonderful
I was just
person.
kidding. I was just kidding.
You can promote him in response because I guess he was talking just about you.
Yeah, I think they will do it.
Okay. What do you think are the positive features of debates? Because they actually sort of develop some sort of skills on you. And what are they?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, you got to be open-minded, and there are sometimes there are games when you, for example, oppose the topic yourself in the real life, but in the game, it turned out to be that you should support it, and I think that's a great advantage of the debates, and that is something that the skills that you obtain from that is that you also start considering opinions of other people who might disagree with you, and I think that's a great takeaway from that.
Yeah, I support because it learns you about such basic things as public speaking, like presentations, and I don't know. I think it's also yeah, it opens your mind. It presents you with a lot of interesting information that you could find preparing your argumentation for the topic. And as I like to say, a person needs to learn everything, like new information every day to improve itself, because there is no upper limit. We need to improve each self daily.
Exactly.
Yeah, to become better self.
I think you would agree with me, but there is one skill as persuasion that actually develops the debating. Do you use it in your daily life?
I use it.
I could say that not so much. I try to hear all like sides of the conflict and to find some appropriate actions or answer for that situation
Yeah.
and that particular time.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. And like persuasion is really important, as you correctly mentioned before. It definitely improves the skill of persuasion in real life. But I don't think, yeah, we don't use it often. But for example, like, I don't know, if we want to promote Lazarski University and if we want to recruit like lots of new students, we need to use persuasion method, right? And I wouldn't say that's an easy thing to do, but anyway, that would be really helpful in the future, really useful, by saying, like, I don't know, just, welcome to Lazarski, the best university of the Makarov district. This kind of, like, very useful.
Top 3 universities in
With
Poland.
the best private university in the Makarov district. Yeah.
Like basically, yes, it's connected a lot of with psychology, as Yerlen mentioned, PR.
Yeah.
It plays a lot of psychological tricks about which, when you read, you're like, wow, there is a lot of ways to persuade person to buy such simple product as, I don't know, milk, beer, cigarettes. Okay, about beer and cigarettes is not so real because advertisement is banned in many countries.
And we do not support drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes, everybody. Do
Yeah,
not do that.
drink
We
responsibly,
oppose-
guys.
We're going off top the general interview. Thank you so much, guys. Fine. Guys, if you would compare, I know that you're debutants in debates, but if you would compare your life before and after the debate tournament, what has changed? I mean, in your skills, in opportunities, because you are the winners, you won the participation model of European Union. What has changed?
Yeah, lots of things changed. For example, we were we joined the Beta Association, and we're really grateful for such a great opportunity, and we are honored to be the members of such a great organizations, and really looking forward to having lots of good future memories out of that, maybe. And we would really like to thank personally you, Muna, for great organizational skills and making this wonderful tournament true. And like, you did a great job. You did a fantastic job, and like, we're really thankful for that. Also, I would like to thank Mr. Bałjan Januzaka, who did a fantastic job and like organizing the whole thing. And you guys did awesome. Like, you did a great job. Like, thank you very much for that. We
That's
really
why you are the
appreciate
winner.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, as Yerlen mentioned, we would like to thank you, Lazarski Debate Club, Beta Poland. If you're interested, today they're having it will be live interview with a member of the European Parliament, if I
Yeah,
hadn't
yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
So if you would like to visit it, you're free to do it. And yeah, I think it's opens a lot of opportunities because we could participate in future tournaments of in Lazarski University, and possibly maybe even some international tournaments, but I think it's a little bit too ambitious.
You just justified your cup and your victory. Fine. I have noticed one thing during the application process. So Yerlen wrote in his application, because he was sending the separate one, the reason of participation is victory.
Oh, all right.
You were so confident. I was even surprised. Well, if he's that confident, maybe he should have the appropriate skills. And you just justified your win. You won in the end.
Oh,
How did that happen? You were so confident in yourself. Why?
no. Here's the deal. When there was written like the reason of participation, right? Like, I should have written something more, but I was too lazy for that, and that was the reason why I put victory. Like, I know it doesn't mean that I was self-confident. I was not. I was too lazy to write a bunch of stuff out there, so that was the reason why I just put victory, and that's the only reason for it.
My version that he's a reincarnation of Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Veni vidi vici.
Yes, I would agree. Okay, since you are the best debaters of our university, you also have the skills, you develop the skills of public speaking. According to your experience, can you please share with us some advices, tips that you have gained during this debate tournament? You, Yerlen, you're personally the best speaker of the whole tournament. Maybe you can give something more to be helpful to our audience.
Yeah, first of all, I would like Viktor to answer this question, because I can see in his eyes that he really wants to answer it.
Thank you, you're so kind. I think that basically a lot of breathing and relaxation, and basically it's, for some people it can be hard, but turn off your brain. Like, don't think about anything, just concentrate on your opponents, their speech and their argumentation, and don't use such, I don't think, stereotypical methods that if you imagine some people naked or that they are laughing, that you will be more confident.
Yeah. I don't know, like, to be honest, what kind of suggestions to give, because like, I don't know, it just happens. Like, I just appear at the stage, and it just happens. Like, I just start speaking, and I just start, as Viktor mentioned before, just stop thinking about all the other aspects of life, and just gotta concentrate on it, and just gotta understand that all other people who are watching and listening to your to what you're saying are just ordinary human beings, and you just gotta bear that in mind, and you just gotta bear in mind that nobody's perfect, and you might make some mistakes or whatever, but that's okay. You just gotta take it easy and go on. I think that's the only advice that I can give.
Yeah, I could also add that while presenting your arguments, never stop, just continue whatever it takes, even if you don't sure in your argumentation of if you're like lose the way it goes. Just continue, don't worry.
Exactly.
I know that there is a problem among the students before the presentations, presenting anything. I mean, they have to stand near the bunch of other students and present whatever it is. But you might feel stressed at this time. You might even shake. Your voice might shake. Anything could happen. Do you have anything specific, maybe some rituals that you are doing before, or just something that helps you in this moment?
I just want to say that it's okay to be nervous, because we are not robots. We are human beings, and we all get nervous sometimes, especially in the events that we take in a serious way. And the fact that you are nervous is definitely advantage, not disadvantage. It means that you take what you're doing seriously, and it means that you're trying it. You want it to be better. You do whatever it takes for your performance to get better, and it's okay to be nervous. Everybody's nervous. I am nervous right now. And I just want you to hear it. It's okay. I know you just gotta, I don't know, take it easy, as I mentioned before, and
I try to be rational because usually like, okay, I'm making presentation for this subject. Let's be honest, the only person who will listen to it is professor.
Yeah, like nobody cares. It's like all people have their own problems in mind, and whatever you're saying, like they will just hear it, but they will not like take it. They will not like analyze every word that you say. Like, oh, he's nervous and whatever. Like, just take it easy.
Great, thank you so much. I hope that it will be very convenient for our audience, and I personally find them. Okay, the final question. Yes, time flies.
Wow.
What are your future goals on debating? Are you planning to continue maybe some other international debate tournaments that you have already researched, or we are planning to organize the next semester again? Do you have it in mind to participate again? Or you won a cup, and that's it. You're stars.
I would say that I will participate in the next year Lazarski University championship because it was quite interesting and unusual. Both international, some championship, I'm not sure because I hadn't explored this topic about Poland. How much do they have? How many in English? So, yeah, I think I will stay at Lazarski Debate Club and will try to improve myself as a debater.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we are really passionate about debate, and we want to improve. We want to have some kind of progress in the future. And the victory that we had in the Lazarski Debate Club is a great thing, of course, but we shouldn't stop on that. And we gotta concentrate on some new tournaments which are about to come, hopefully. And I don't know, I haven't searched for any international tournaments yet either, but I don't know if there are gonna be some. Like, just give us an invitation and we'll take it under consideration. That's the first thing that I would like to say. Second thing that I would like to say is that motivation is really important in life, and I was always wondering, like, there are lots of successful people in life who like won everything. For example, I know Zinedine Zidane of Real Madrid, like he won everything, but he still wakes up every morning and still finds motivation in his life, and that is really important. Like, we didn't achieve much in this life. We just won one cup, and of course we do have motivation. Like, it's nothing. Like, we just gotta move on, step by step, and hopefully we'll see like great results in the future.
Thank you so much, guys, for this interview. I hope our audience find everything here very convenient. We're very honored to have such talented students as you. Keep going. We hope to see you in other debate tournaments among universities as winners as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and this is
We're so
the
honored.
final day of Ramadan, so congratulations to our Muslim brothers and sisters with such a great thing. You did a great job. Yeah, and thank you very much for your invitation. That was really good.
Thank you. And we want to mention one thing before we will all be over. So guys, if you would like to become, to participate in general in Lazarski Students on Air podcast, you are welcome. Please direct message us on Instagram. And thank you so much for your attention, and we'll see you in our future podcasts.
Bye bye.
Bye.